So how did you first start working with Gary Webb then?
When I came to Reading, I think Gary was the head of the Princess Trust, and I ended up working with himself and being the ambassador for the club on behalf. And Gary was the man. Yeah, he took me in and told me what was what.
What made you want to get involved in that kind of thing?
It was just giving back to the community really, and obviously with Gary being there, it was with seeing the amount of work that he does on and off the field, in the backgrounds and the fundraising, the organisation, what he done really impressed me. So it was nice to get involved and give something back.
What kind of events did you get involved in? What impact have they had on the kids in the community?
They're the schemes, I think it was 12-week schemes where kids would come in from, disadvantaged kids that hadn't really got much, but the likes of Gary and Sabrina that were there gave up their time to take him in, get him on a course, get him team building, get him bonding, get him back being confident again and believing in themselves. And what he gave to people was priceless, because some of the guys that were involved in it, were really struggling, and didn't know where they were going to end up. But luckily for them, Gary gave them a path.
And do you think they've developed, physically and emotionally in a lot of different ways, these people?
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at some of the guys, they've been really successful. I think there's a couple of guys that have come. They've run up on behalf of the Princess Trust of Reading with Gary. Meeting the Prince of Wales, and they've gone from there getting full-time jobs. And so have a lot of them. A lot of them gone to hair and beauty courses. A lot of the girls that obviously drop out, they might have children, and it's tough for them to get a break. And he was there for me, and they applied to the course. He's so approachable and easy to talk to. It makes things a lot easier for these kind of people to work with him.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, what kind of qualities does someone like Gary or anyone coaching in a prison and places like that, what qualities do they need in a person to help these people?
They need every quality, they need patience, they need to have a good heart, they need to be kind to people, and at the same time they need to have that certain strictness about him that people know not to take the mick. And he has everything, he's got it all in abundance. He's an approachable lad. He's a clever boy in what he says and what he does and how he turns things around for people to think about things. He really does. The job an unbelievable service, and I think for everyone else to go in and fill his shoes, they're massive boots.
I was going to say, what advice would you give to anyone else who wants to go into that type of work?
Probably have to get a feel for it before Gary leaves, just to get talking to him and find out what he's been doing, and have a look at how he works, because I don't think there's nothing to fix there. I think he's the complete person to have in any job. He's willing to give up endless hours. He goes above and beyond what his job calls for him, in terms of commitment and focus. So for me, he'd be a number one employee.